Welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Got the D-Man here, and I'm glad you could join me as always. Today's topic is going to be about manliness, what it is to be a man. The reason I chose that topic for today is because I started yet another book, and I was writing about men from the past, the men that founded our great country, the United States, and the men that founded many other great countries in the world. Did the women found those countries? No. Did they start those countries? No, they didn't. Now, is that to belittle women or to make them seem small? Not at all. Women supported the men, raised the children. Were it not for the women, the country would not have continued. It would not have perpetuated, whichever country you live in. We need women to bear children. We need women to take care of the children, to nurture the children. That in itself is a career. It's very downplayed here in the United States. I remember my last ex-wife, I've had several, she was raising our 3 kids, and someone asked her, this happened more than once, what do you do? And she said, well, I raise my kids, stay home with the kids. And they said, well, don't you work? I'm telling you what, I've raised my kids as a man for the last 9 years by myself, and that is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week job. No days off, no sick days, no any free days, okay? I had no grandparents to take care of them. Excuse me. So yes, that is a career in itself. And what more valuable career could there be than raising children for the next generation that's going to continue to help our great country to survive? But now it's turned over to the daycare workers. That's a whole nother topic. I'm back. Let's go back to being a man. But as a man, what is it to be a man? Think about the men during World War II, or World War I, or the Civil War. Who were the ones out there fighting? The men, real men. Did they have a safe place? Did they have antidepressants? Now, I'm not against antidepressants. I have taken them before. But if you take them continually, thinking that is going to solve your problem, you're sadly mistaken, because they only deal with the symptom. You need to take those. If you need to take those, you need to take those and work on yourself and solve the problem. Don't just deal with the symptom. It's kind of like alcoholism or drug addiction. Those are just symptoms of the problem. We use the alcohol or the drugs to calm ourselves down, or to deal with life, or to not deal with life, or to not think about certain things, because we have not yet, as men, learned how to control our emotions or our minds. And that is one of the most important things you need to learn to do, is to control your emotional nature. Otherwise, you'll be like a woman. Women are more emotional. They have a more difficult time controlling their emotions. They act more on emotion. Have an argument with a woman and see how well that works out for you. You cannot convince a woman of anything, because she's thinking from an emotional viewpoint. Now, that's not all women, but in general, 99% of them think that way. Now, am I saying that's bad or that there's something wrong with that? No, I'm not. I'm just stating the facts, okay? And if you don't believe they're facts, look at the statistics on things like that. How many women are leaders in the world? Very few. How many women are explorers? Very few. How many women are inventors? Very few. How many women work on oil rigs? How many women work in high-stress, dangerous jobs? Few. So that is because women have emotional natures. And if you're a man and you have an emotional nature and you're allowing your emotions to run your life, then you're too much in your feminine. Each of us have a masculine and a feminine side. Okay? It's not good nor bad. It's just the way it is. Now, which one you let rule yourself as a man will determine your success with women, because you need polarity. If you got a man and a woman, and the man's too much in his feminine, and the woman is a feminine woman, you're not going to have polarity. There won't be, the attraction will not survive. It will die, or there won't be any attraction. Feminine women are not attracted to masculine men. Now, in the U.S. here, we have a lot of women who are trying to be masculine. They want to be equal to men. Well, I don't really understand what they mean by equality. I believe in equal rights. My mother I grew up in the 60s. My mother lived through the 60s. She's passed on now, God bless her soul. She was a very strong woman, but yet she was with my father for over 50 years until he passed. Okay, she submitted to my father's leadership. Now, does that mean they never had disagreements? Yes, they had disagreements, of course. But my dad was a man, okay? He fought in World War II, he fought in the Korean War, and he worked at Boeing, McDonnell Douglas, whatever you want to call it, for over 36 years. And of course, he had a short career in the service. They wanted him to re-enlist, but he didn't. Okay, my dad didn't go around crying about his problems, looking for a safe place, getting counseling all the time. Now, I have nothing against counseling either. I have taken counseling, and I would go again if needed. Okay, the point I'm making here, as a man, you need to be strong for your woman. A woman wants a strong man. She doesn't want a man who she's in bed with at night and the burglar breaks in the door and he is afraid to confront the burglar, okay? She wants a man who is going to get up and go down and put his life on the line to protect her and her children. And if you're not that man, you need to become that man. And if you're not strong enough or bad enough or tough enough to be that man, then learn how to use a gun. It's one thing to shoot at a target. It's another thing to shoot at a human being with the intention of killing them or hurting them seriously. So just because you have a gun and you know how to shoot it, are you willing to kill someone? That's the question you need to ask yourself, because it can come to that. Most of the time, for most of us, it never will. But you have to know that you can do that if needed. Now, that's where a lot of women talk about toxic masculinity, that they think that's terrible. Well, if it wasn't for toxic masculinity, we would not have this great country we have, because it was toxic masculinity that came over here and murdered the Indians and killed children and gave them the blankets with the, was it the yellow fever or malaria? Or no, not malaria. Anyway, we used germ warfare, more or less. We infected the Indians with one of our diseases to get rid of them. So this is toxic masculinity that women today complain about. But that toxic masculinity that was able to kill men, women, and children, and that is a sad thing, but that's the way it is. So they could survive in this great land and have the wonderful, easy life that we have today. Look around us. Okay, we have a 70% of our population is obese or overweight. In my community, where I live around St. Louis in the U.S. here in the Midwest, I would say it's probably about 90% of the people, at least 90% here. But on the average, 70%. That is a clear indicator that we live in an abundant society. We have so much that most of us are overweight and out of shape because food is so readily available. We throw away so much food every day. I would bet we throw enough food away every day in the United States to feed a large majority of the people who die every day because they don't have enough food to eat. So we got a problem with fat, with overweight people here, okay? Now, I've been overweight, so I'm not here condemning anyone for being overweight. I'm just making the point that we live in an abundant society and we have become soft as men and women also. Women don't have to go out and wash the clothes on a washboard or a pila, as they call it down in Latin America. They just throw them in the washer and turn it on. They get them out and put them in the dryer. They don't have to iron much either anymore, okay? These were all things we had to do before. Dishwashers. It's like life is so easy here. And then I think we have too much time on our hands, okay, to worry about things that really don't amount to a hill of beans, as my mom and dad used to say. So, but it's up to us men to lead the way, not to make things harder, but to lead the way. If you're not being a strong man, how do you expect your woman to depend on you, to trust you, to allow you to lead? What self-discipline do you have? Do you come home after work and sit on the couch and drink a beer and eat Doritos and sit in your Cheeto dust? And what? And that's all you do? Watch TV all evening? Watch football on the weekends or football during the week? And you expect your wife to admire you, to trust you, to think you're a strong man like she thought when she first met you? The things you did and the man you were when you met your wife or your girlfriend, if she's your wife now, were the things you need to continue to do. Many of us men think that, we get married, I got her now, and you just let yourself go. You don't take her out anymore, you're not mysterious anymore, you're not adventurous anymore, you're just settled in. You think all you have to do is go to work, bring them the check, and you're doing your part. Well, there's a lot more than that. And that's why your woman's gaining weight. That's why she doesn't put makeup on anymore. That's why she doesn't take care of herself anymore. Be responsible. You're the leader. And if she is not looking and acting the way she used to, you need to go look in the mirror and look at yourself and ask yourself, are you the man she met? Are you the man that she fell in love with? Or are you different now? Are you being lazy? Are you being unambitious? Do you still have a vision? Do you still have a purpose? Ask yourself that question and be honest with yourself. Everything in the outer world is a reflection of what's going on inside of you. If you don't like the way your wife is or the way your children are acting, you need to look within yourself. What is your part in it? You have created or manifested this life for yourself, and you can uncreate it. You can change it. Not by force or domination or by being a jerk or a dick, but by being different, by changing your inside, by changing how you think. And that changes how you act, how you treat other people. Change the way you think about your wife. Change the way you think about your children. It's a conscious effort. Most people don't think. They think, but all they do is remember. They regurgitate what they've seen on the news, what they've heard on the radio, what they heard their friends gossiping about at work. They repeat the same things over and over. Jesus said you can have whatever you say. But you know what people are doing? They are saying what they have instead of talking about and saying what they want. They talk about what they have, how things are, not how they want things to be. You can have what you say. So if you continue to say or to speak and talk about what you have, guess what? Nothing changes. If you don't change your talk, if you don't change your thinking, nothing in your life is ever going to change. Remember that. So if you want to be more of a man, think more like a man. Look up YouTube videos. Find out what it is to be a man, how a man thinks, what real men do, and then emulate that. Be the man that all men want to be like, and be the man that all women want to be with, especially the woman you have in your life right now. So think about that. Until tomorrow, have a great day. Smash that like button and subscribe.